There is a man inside you who speaks with calm authority. He doesn't rush. He doesn't beg. He doesn't perform. He doesn't spill his whole soul to strangers, hoping they will clap. He says what he means what he says. And the world feels the difference immediately. That version of you is not a fantasy. He is a set of habits. He is discipline turned into voice. Most people think how to talk is tricks. They think it's witty lines, louder volume, clever comebacks, fancy vocabulary. That's entertainment. Talking like a leader is something else. It's clarity, it's structure, it's frame, it's the courage to be simple. It's the patience to be silent, and it's the integrity to back your words with action. If your life is chaos, your speech will be chaos. If your mind is weak, your words will be weak. You will apologize for existing. You will add maybe, and I guess in sort of like you're sprinkling sand on your own confidence. You will laugh when someone disrespects you because you don't know what to do with tension. You will over-explain because you don't trust your decision. You will talk fast because you're scared of silence. And you will wonder why nobody takes you seriously. They do take you seriously. They are taking you seriously and concluding you don't even believe in yourself. So let's fix it, not by acting, by building the foundations that create a powerful voice. Rule 1, never speak from need. Need leaks into your tone. Need is audible. Need is that shaky friendliness that asks for approval. Need is when you want something and you're trying to hide it. Need is when you talk to impress instead of to direct. When you speak from need, you hand the other person the steering wheel. Now they can play with you, now they can delay you, now they can test you because they feel you want something from them more than you want your own self-respect. Rule 2, slow down. Speed is panic. Speed is insecurity wearing a mask. Slow speech is not laziness. Slow speech is control. It tells the room, I'm not afraid of your reaction. It tells the room, I can handle silence. It tells the room, I choose my words. When you speak slowly, you give your words weight. Weight is what makes people listen. Rule 3, say less. Weak men drown truth in noise. Strong men deliver truth in clean strikes. If you can't say it in 2 sentences, you probably don't own it. You're borrowing it. You're hiding behind words because you lack clarity. Clarity is power. You want to be respected? Learn compression. Cut the filler. Kill the extra explanation. End the sentence. Then hold the silence like you paid for it. Silence is a weapon most men never learn to hold. They think silence is awkward. Silence is only awkward when you're uncertain. When you're certain, silence is pressure. Silence forces the other person to reveal themselves. Silence makes your words echo. Silence shows you're not begging the conversation to continue. You don't need to fill space. You can sit in it. Now, the real game is frame. Frame is the invisible border around every interaction. Whoever controls the frame controls the outcome. If you walk into a conversation trying to prove yourself, you've already placed yourself beneath the other person. If you walk in asking for permission, your frame is submission. If you walk in calm, clear, and grounded, your frame is authority. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be aggressive. Authority is not anger. Authority is certainty without apology. Here is how you build frame with words. You speak in statements, not in questions disguised as statements. Stop ending your sentences like you're asking, even when you're not. Stop decorating your truth with nervous laughter. Stop giving people 10 exits. Stop saying if you want, if that's okay, no worries, sorry, every time you open your mouth. Those are fine sometimes, but if they're your default, you are training the world to treat you like someone who doesn't believe in his own presence. You also stop reacting emotionally to bait. People test, they poke, they tease, they throw small disrespect to see what you tolerate. The worst response is rage. Rage means they control your emotions. The second worst response is defensiveness. Defensiveness means the hit landed. The best response is calm correction or calm indifference, one clean line, no drama, no speeches. Don't speak to me like that. That's not happening. Try again. Then silence. If they respect it, you continue. If they don't, you leave. Your absence becomes the consequence. Most men have no consequences. They talk big and then tolerate everything. They say, I'm not like that. Then they accept it anyway. They say, I'm going to change. Then they scroll for 3 hours. They say, I'm focused. Then they get distracted by every shiny object. Their words become decoration. The world learns their voice has no gravity. You want gravity? Become consistent. Do what you say. Keep promises to yourself. Every broken promise steals authority from your chest. Every kept promise puts it back. This is why the secret to talking better is living bare. Your mouth can't manufacture strength your life doesn't support. You can fake it for a moment, but under pressure, you will fold back to your real identity. So we build the real identity. Start with your body. Stand like you mean it. You don't need to puff your chest like a cartoon. You need alignment, shoulders relaxed, chin level, eyes present. Breathe deep. A man who breathes shallow speaks shallow. Your breathing controls your pace. Your pace controls your frame. Your frame controls your outcomes. Eye contact matters, not staring like a predator. Calm eye contact. Finish your sentence while looking at the person. Don't look away early like you're ashamed of your own opinion. When you look away too fast, you signal uncertainty. When you hold eye contact naturally, you signal ownership. Ownership is what people respect. Now learn to listen. Most people talk to be admired. Strong people listen to understand. Listening is not passive, it's active. It's hunting information. It's collecting patterns. It's watching how someone reacts when they think they are in control. And when you listen, you get to respond from knowledge, not from emotion. Use questions like steering wheels. If you ask the right questions, you decide the direction. What do you mean by that? Why is that important? What's the plan? What's the deadline? What do you want from me? Questions expose vagueness. Questions reveal intentions. Questions also stop you from being pulled into nonsense. Now let's talk about the most important skill, the ability to say. A man who can't say no can't speak with power, because his yes is forced. People can feel it. They feel he can be pressured. They feel he will bend. So practice no without anger, no essays, no justification. No, that doesn't work. Not today, then silence. If you need to explain once, briefly, then end it. The more you explain, the more you negotiate your own boundary. You also need to stop trying to be liked by everyone. The need to be liked destroys masculine presence. When you need approval, your voice becomes a request. When you accept being disliked, your voice becomes free. Freedom is the highest form of confidence. The world doesn't respect the man who pleases everyone. The world respects the man who pleases himself by living by a code. Here is a simple code for how to talk. In any situation, be clear, be calm, be concise, be final. Clear means you know what you want to say before you say it. Calm means your emotions do not hijack your tone. Concise means you don't drown truth in filler. Final means you don't keep reopening the same decision because you're scared of conflict. Now, you want to talk to people like a leader? Then stop gossiping, stop complaining, stop narrating your problems like you're a victim. Victim talk trains you to be small. Every time you say, I can't, you reinforce it. Every time you say it's not fair, you anchor in weakness. Leaders talk in solutions. Leaders talk in actions. Leaders talk in next steps. Even if the world is unfair, your mouth does not need to worship it. Talking to men, respect is earned, not demanded. Don't try to dominate with noise. Don't try to win every sentence. A man who needs to win every sentence is insecure. Speak with calm certainty. Give credit when it's due. Correct disrespect when it appears. Don't argue emotionally. Don't explain your status. Display it with discipline. If someone challenges you, you don't panic. You respond with calm lines and calm posture. You're not trying to impress him. You're observing him. Talking to women, remove need. That's it. The moment you remove need, your voice becomes attractive. Need is repulsive. Need is pressure. Need is trying to buy attention with words. Speak slowly. Smile when it's genuine. Tease lightly without cruelty. Lead the interaction with simple decisions. Let's go. Come with me. We'll do this. And if she disrespects you, you don't beg. You don't argue. You simply withdraw your attention. Attention is your currency. Spend it carefully. But let me be clear. This is not about playing games. This is about standards. If you have standards, your talk becomes strong. If you have no standards, you will say anything to keep someone around. That is weakness. Now, how to handle disrespect in one line. You don't need a speech. You need a boundary. Here are examples of the energy. Not the exact words you must copy. That's not acceptable. Don't do that again. You're not talking to me like that. Try that with someone else. We're done here. Then silence. If they push, you repeat once, then you leave. Repetition shows firmness. Leaving shows consequence. A man without consequence is a man without power. Negotiation is the same. The one who speaks first loses more often. The one who talks more reveals more. The one who stays calm controls the temperature. Ask questions, let them talk. Summarize their position in one sentence. State your position in one sentence. Then pause. Pauses are pressure. Pressure creates movement. Now, there's a darker truth about talking. Most people can't handle directness because their lives are built on avoidance. When you speak clearly, you force clarity in others. Some will respect you. Some will hate you. That's fine. Your job is not to be popular. Your job is to be effective. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what do I say? What do I actually say in conversations? Here is the blueprint. You speak in 3 layers. 1, observation, what is true. 2, intention, what you want. 3, action, what happens next. Example, we said we'd meet at 7. It's 8. I value punctuality. Next time be on time or we won't do this. That's it. No insults. No crying. No drama. Just structure. Another example, you keep interrupting. I'm going to finish my point, then you can respond. Calm, clear. Final. Another, I'm not interested in that. Here's what I'm doing instead. Then move on. This is how leaders speak. They don't orbit the truth. They land on it. Now, none of this works if you don't have internal confidence. And internal confidence is not motivation. It's evidence. Evidence comes from reps. It comes from training when you don't feel like it. It comes from working when you're tired. It comes from doing the hard thing quietly. Every rep you do builds a deeper identity, and identity speaks for you before your mouth opens. So build reps for your voice. Daily drill 1, read out loud for 10 minutes slowly. Train pace, train breathing, train clarity. Daily drill 2, record yourself speaking for 2 minutes on one topic. Listen back, cut filler, cut excuses. Improve one thing. Daily drill 3, practice short answers. Someone asks you something, answer in one sentence, then stop. Daily drill 4, practice silence. After you speak, pause. Count to 3 in your head, let the air settle. And here's the ultimate drill. Keep your word. If you say you'll do it, do it. If you say you'll stop, stop. If you say you'll be somewhere, be there. The strongest voice in the world comes from a life that matches it. Because there is a version of you who walks into any room and doesn't need to talk much. He is felt. He isn't trying to sell himself. He isn't trying to prove he's important. He's already busy building. He speaks to direct, to decide, to lead. He respects people, but he doesn't chase them. He listens, but he doesn't bend. He is calm, but he is not soft. He is kind, but he is not weak. He is disciplined. And discipline is audible right now. You are choosing your voice with your habits. Every time you scroll when you should work, you choose a weaker voice. Every time you skip training, you choose a softer tone. Every time you lie to yourself, you choose shaky words. Every time you tolerate disrespect, you choose a smaller presence. And every time you do the hard thing, you choose strength. Every time you hold a boundary, you choose authority. Every time you sit in silence, you choose control. So decide who you are going to be. Decide you will speak slowly. Decide you will speak clearly. Decide you will speak less. Decide you will keep your word. Decide you will accept being disliked. Decide you will stop negotiating your standards. Decide you will become the kind of man whose voice is not a performance, but a signature. Your mouth is not the source of your power. Your life is. Build the life and the voice follows. Build the discipline and the talk becomes effortless. Build the standards and the world adapts. That version of you is waiting. Stop declining him. Stop delaying him. Speak like him by living like him. Today, now let's go deeper, because how to talk isn't just one tone. It's situational control. You need different gears. You need the gear for leadership, the gear for confrontation, the gear for charm, the gear for negotiation, the gear for teaching. The mistake most men make is they only have one gear, nervous friendliness. They speak the same way to their boss, to their friends, to a woman they desire, to a man disrespecting them, to a stranger trying to waste their time. One gear means one outcome. You become manageable. So we build a system. First, the leader's voice. The leader's voice is calm, direct, and specific. A leader doesn't speak in fog. We'll see. Maybe. Somehow. Those are words of people who avoid responsibility. A leader uses time, numbers, and action. At 6, we do this. By Friday, it's done. You handle that, I handle this. And if it isn't done, he corrects it without emotion. Emotion is optional. Standards are not. Second, the challenger's voice. The challenger's voice is short, firm, and controlled. When someone pushes you, you do not start a debate. Debates are for people who have no power. Power is a decision. No. Stop. Don't. Enough. Then you hold. When you add too many words, you give them handles to grab. Handles are weaknesses. Keep it clean. Third, the builder's voice. The builder's voice is patient and instructional. When you teach, you don't perform intelligence. You organize reality for others. You break big things into small steps. You speak slowly. You repeat key points. You ask, do you understand? Not because you're begging for approval, but because you're checking alignment. If you can't teach something simply, you don't own it yet. Teaching sharpens your mind, and a sharper mind creates sharper speech. Fourth, the attractive voice. Attraction is not magic. Attraction is safety plus challenge. It's calmness plus certainty. It's warmth without need. If you want to talk with charm, you must remove desperation. Desperation is the quickest way to repel. The attractive voice is relaxed. It uses fewer words. It lets the other person earn access. It doesn't chase. Invites. It teases lightly. It has standards. Here's a simple test. If you are afraid of losing someone, you will talk wrong. You will talk too much. You will overtext. You will explain. You will apologize. You will try to convince. That is not attractive. The moment you accept that you can walk away, your voice becomes magnetic. Because now you are free. Now let's talk about the phone, because phones have destroyed communication. Texting has made men cowardly. They hide behind paragraphs. They overthink emojis. They send 10 messages because they can't handle waiting. They double text because they can't handle silence. They ask questions they could answer themselves because they want attention. Then they wonder why they look weak. Of course you look weak. You are behaving weak. So here are phone rules. Rule 1, your text should have a purpose. Either you are setting plans, giving information, or creating a light vibe. Anything else is often boredom. Don't text from boredom. Boredom texting is need. Need is death. Rule 2, never write an essay. Essays are for emails. Keep it clean. 1 or 2 lines. End it. Let the other person respond. Rule 3, do not ask 10 questions. Ask 1 good question. Then stop. Rule 4, do not chase. If they ignore you, you don't send 10 more. You continue building your life. Attention is currency. Spend it where it grows, not where it dies. Now, let's talk about public speaking, because many of you want to talk on camera, on stage, in meetings, in interviews. Public speaking is simply private discipline displayed. The camera sees your insecurity. A microphone amplifies your uncertainty. That is why you must train. Public speaking has 3 pillars: structure, pace, and conviction. Structure, you need a beginning, middle, end. You don't ramble. You don't wander. You decide your points beforehand. The simplest structure is problem, truth, action. Problem, most men talk like beggars. Truth, your voice comes from your standards. Action, speak slower. Say less. Keep your word. Done, pace, slow down. Pauses create emphasis. Fast speech creates anxiety. Conviction is not volume. Conviction is certainty. You can whisper with conviction and still command attention. Also, use stories. Stories carry lessons better than lectures. But understand what a story is. A story is not a long diary. A story is a weapon. It has a point. It has a turn. It has a punch. Tell it quickly, then land the lesson. Here's how to tell a story like a man. Set the scene in one sentence. Describe the conflict. In one sentence, show the decision in one sentence. Deliver the lesson in one sentence. Then stop. Stop talking. Let it land. Now, conflict. Most people avoid conflict because they're terrified of being disliked. But if you avoid conflict, you invite disrespect, you invite manipulation, you invite resentment. So you must learn to speak into conflict without becoming emotional. The key is to separate facts from feelings. You can feel anything you want, but you speak facts and standards. We agreed on this. That didn't happen. That's not acceptable. This is the standard. Feelings are private. Standards are public. When you speak standards, you stay in control. And understand this. You are not responsible for how people feel about your boundaries. You're responsible for having boundaries. A man who tries to manage everyone's emotions becomes their servant. Stop being a servant. Be fair, be clear, be calm, be final. Now, the most dangerous habit in speech is complaining. Complaining is a confession of powerlessness. Complaining trains your brain to search for excuses. It makes you sound like a victim even when you're not. You can discuss problems without complaining. You can identify obstacles without whining. The difference is direction. A complaint has no action. A solution has a next step. Every time you speak, ask yourself, am I building or am I leaking? Another habit, gossip. Gossip is weak men bonding over weakness. It feels good because it creates a fake hierarchy, but it makes you small. A powerful man doesn't need to tear others down to feel tall. He builds himself up. When you stop gossiping, your talk becomes cleaner. Your mind becomes cleaner, and clean minds speak with authority. Now let's talk about humor. Humor is fine, but never use humor to dodge truth. Never use jokes to avoid saying what you mean. That becomes a mask. Speak truth first, then you can joke. If you joke first, you become harmless. Harmless is not respected. Harmless is ignored. Here is a practical toolkit for your daily life. In meetings, speak early, speak briefly. If you speak late after everyone has talked, your voice has less impact. Say your point first, then support it with one reason. Then stop. If they disagree, ask one question. What part do you disagree with? Then listen. Don't defend emotionally. If you are right, time will prove it. If you are wrong, learn quickly. Ego destroys communication. In interviews, answer directly, then expand only if asked. Many people ramble because they want to look impressive. Rambling makes you look uncertain. Direct answers make you look competent. Yes. No. Here's what I did. Here's the result. Here's what I learned. In friendships, don't perform. Be present. Don't talk to fill space. Shared silence is strength. And if someone disrespects you repeatedly, don't argue. Reduce access. Distance is a boundary. In family, be patient, but be consistent. You don't need to win every point. You need to maintain your standards. Calm repetition beats emotional debate. Now, if you want to truly master speech, you must master thought. Thought is upstream from words. If your thoughts are scattered, your words will be scattered. So build mental discipline. Stop consuming garbage. Garbage input creates garbage output. Your mind becomes what you feed it. If you feed it endless noise, it will speak noise. Feed it books, training, work, quiet, time, and your speech becomes sharper. Your focus becomes sharper. The world responds. And here is something most people don't want to hear. You can't talk your way out of a life you behaved your way into. If you are broke, you can't charm your way into respect long term. If you are lazy, you can't confidence your way into authority. People feel the truth. So use talking as a mirror. When you hear your voice sounding weak, don't hate yourself. Fix the habits behind it. Every weakness in your speech is a signal of where you are undisciplined. That's good news, because it means you can change it. You are not stuck with a weak voice. You built it. So you can rebuild it. Start today. Speak slower. Say less. Hold silence. Make decisions. Keep your word. Train your body. Clean your mind. Cut excuses. Cut gossip. Cut complaining. And watch how quickly your life changes, because the world is a mirror. It reflects your standards back to you. If your standard is low, people treat you low. If your standard rises, people adapt. If they don't adapt, you outgrow them. That is the cost of evolution. So become the man who can walk into any room and speak with calm authority. Not because you memorize lines, but because you earned the tone. Not because you demanded respect, but because you became respectable. Not because you were loud, but because you were disciplined. Your voice is a consequence. Build the cause. Then speak and the world will listen. And one more thing. Never confuse aggression with confidence. Aggression is often fear dressed up as strength. The loudest man in the room is usually the most uncertain. Confidence is quiet. Confidence is stable. Confidence doesn't need to win every moment. It needs to win the long game. When you speak, aim for truth, not dominance. Dominance without truth collapses. Truth delivered with calm becomes unbreakable. If you want a simple challenge, do this for 30 days. Speak slower than you want to. Cut your words by half. Remove sorry unless you truly made a mistake. Stop explaining your boundaries. Stop texting out of boredom. Train your body daily. Work daily. Read daily. And when you feel the urge to complain, replace it with a plan. You will feel awkward at first. Good. Awkward is growth. Awkward is you shedding the old identity. At the end of 30 days, you won't just talk better, you will be different. Your eyes will hold. Your posture will settle. Your tone will deepen. People will interrupt you less. People will test you less. Not because they suddenly became nicer, but because your presence will warn them that you don't tolerate nonsense. That is how you talk. You talk like a man who is building. You talk like a man who keeps his word. You talk like a man who respects himself enough to be calm, clear, concise, and final. Then you go back to work. Right now, while you're reading this, the old you is negotiating. He wants comfort. He wants shortcuts. He wants to stay the same and still be respected. That is impossible. Respect is rented with discipline. And the rent is due every day. Pay it. Speak with purpose. Move with purpose. Let your words be rare and accurate. Let your silence be heavy. Let your actions be louder than any sentence. That is the voice of a man who cannot be ignored. Decide once. Execute daily. Speak only truth. And watch your world obey always.